President Uhuru Kenyatta and Ndugu Francis Atwoli today led Kenyans in celebrating Labor Day, but from Statehouse. And we all know that labor movement in this country has always shaped the politics of this country from the time of Tomboya. My former member of parliament, Dennis Akumu, was a renowned and respected trade unionist. And in the last general election alone, the ODM party decided to nominate Wilson Sossion to parliament to represent the interest of workers in this country. And by the fact that they nominated Sossion to represent the interest of workers in the National Assembly, it tells you that the labor movement is highly regarded within the political circles in this country. And because we are facing a general election in the next few years, I've been monitoring the happenings within the trade unions, especially KOTU movement. And Atwoli, who is the Secretary General of KOTU, is actually turning out to be a forceful player within the political circles. But one thing is also clear, that the trade unions in Kenya might not support the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. I don't know why they are not supporting him. If you look at Sossion, for example, who is the Secretary General of NAT, he has drifted completely away from the Deputy President. If you look at if you take, for example, Ndugu Francis Atwoli, he's actually one of the sworn enemies of the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. And let's face it, when Uhuru and Ruto came to power, they tried the much they could to kick out Francis Atwoli out of office. But they never succeeded. And at some point, Atwoli was very clear that the DP was the one who was fighting him. And I remember, Atwoli, I think, sits also on the board of the NSSF. The Deputy President wanted him out through Kazungu Kambi. But at the end of the day, Atwoli is still there. So that means the leadership of KOTU plays a key role in the politics of this country. And today, Uhuru Kenyatta and Francis Atwoli were at Statehouse. You remember, you all know that we are facing a crisis in the world over. And last year, for those who've been following, because I personally have been following it, last year, Uhuru Kenyatta missed the Labor Day celebrations, which was at Nyayo, at Uhuru Park. Raila Odinga missed that event. And the Deputy President also missed that event. And those who followed the event last year, that event was actually hijacked by the Team Keleweke. Members of Team Keleweke actually went to that event in their large numbers, and they were allowed to speak. The people who attended was, I think, was Kalonzo was there, and also Musalia Mudavadi, I think, was also there. But today, I had expected the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto to be present. Not because of anything, but because this event was happening at Statehouse. The Deputy President is part of the presidency. So in protocol, the DP ought to have been next to the president. Because I'm sure when Atwoli and the president were organizing this event, they reached out to the DP. Or anybody who was organizing this, because in protocol, the Deputy President still remains the second in command. But he was not there. The question is, why was the Deputy President missing from that event? I've read somewhere that he was locked out of the venue. I don't want to buy that. I want to believe that there could be possible reasons why he missed that event. And these are my thoughts. Number one, I think the DP has been fighting with Ndugu Francis Atwoli for a very long time. That's known all over. So probably because Atwoli is the guy who was organizing this event, because this is a labor movement event. Probably because he's the one who was organizing it. The DP felt really there's no need for me to attend this event. Because let's face it, the person giving the deputy president biggest problem in this country today is Ndugu Francis Atwoli. Not because Atwoli has the powers, but because Atwoli is being used to communicate certain things to the public. Remember, it's Atwoli who first communicated that Uhuru Kenyatta is still too young to retire. It's the same Atwoli who announced to this country that the constitution is going to be changed. And it's the same Atwoli who announced to the country that Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta should have a handshake. And all these things he said, all of them have come to pass. Atwoli also prophesied that Rashid Echesa was not going to survive in his office. It did happen. And Atwoli has been used severally. So the mere fact that Atwoli was the guy who was going to be the main guy at the event, the DP felt maybe that there was no need. I am sure if there was someone else at the helm of the Kotu movement, the DP would probably have sat next to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So I'm looking at the possibility that the DP was invited by Statehouse, the DP was invited by the labor movement, and he was told this event was going to happen here, but he decided, I'm not going to attend because of Francis Atwoli. So that, in my view, could be the first reason. Number two, which I think could be the main reason. You know, we are in politics. And Kenyans are really tired with Jubilee rule. And the DP has been trying so hard to dissociate from Jubilee. And that's why as Kenyans are busy fighting with this particular current crisis, the DP is nowhere. So we have lost Kenyans have lost 40 billion. And the DP and his team are safe for the first time. Because if they were there, it would have even been worse. So the DP, I think, and his handlers have decided that they want to focus all their energy on the presidency. But they have a big headache. Jubilee Party and Jubilee failure. And because the president is the leader of Jubilee Party, if the DP is seen close to him, then DP would actually carry the burden. And that's why you saw him avoiding all those press conferences by Mutahi Kagwe, and even by President Uhuru Kenyatta, and even those high-level meetings, including the one where the National Security Council met. The DP was not there. So he's trying to dissociate himself from Jubilee Party or from President Uhuru Kenyatta's presidency. Because the other guy who is now taking all the blames is Raila Odinga. Why is Raila taking the blame? Raila is taking the blame because he's seen to be working very closely with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, this is a guy who's been exposing the rot in Jubilee Party for the last 5 or 6 years. But he entered into an agreement with this guy to allow this guy work, but he's now carrying the burden, the failures. In fact, the failures of Jubilee Party today are shared almost equally by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. And the DP would want that to be maintained. And that's good politics, if you ask me. But whether it's sustainable or not is something which I still don't know. But the fact of the matter is the DP has been trying so hard to dissociate from the president, especially during this kind of crisis. You no longer see the DP anywhere near president. Probably the president team and the rest are trying to block him. But I think strategically, the DP also changed tact. He wants to be seen to be DP. He wants to be seen as someone who was not part and parcel of Jubilee problems. That's why when the issue of 40 billion came up, you saw all allies of the DP raising it. Boni and Atwoli saying, oh, the DP angekuwa hapa, ingekuwa ni yeye. So he doesn't want to be associated. Number 3, I think the other issue which we cannot rule out is the possibility that the DP is actually being sabotaged by Statehouse operatives. And I don't want to dismiss the story which I read on the Kenyan report that the DP was locked out. I know probably these guys just decided not to invite him. It's a possibility because they're fighting him. And they've done worse things. So there's nothing that can stop them not to invite the DP because this is a police event. Or maybe these guys advise the president that for now, let's not invite the DP. So I can read internal party politics. Internal Jubilee was in here. These guys don't want the DP because probably the DP has been saying, oh, Nini, he's been saying ABC about the president, how things are not. But now these guys are saying, okay, if that's the thing, let's not invite him. Let him just stay there. So that's another possibility. And lastly, I think it's all about the trade union politics. The DP has always wanted Atwoli to be kicked out. In fact, Atwoli was saved very narrowly during the last election, which was conducted here at Tom Mboya Labour College. I happened to have been in Kisumu at that time. And some of the people who helped Atwoli were actually people I know. And they told me that on that day, most delegates were blocked from Awase. Some were blocked from Marcel. So you could not access the venue. So the only selected ones were allowed to access that venue. And they were allowed early. And that's how Atwoli managed to win. Because remember, that election was supposed to be conducted in Nairobi. But Atwoli realized what was happening. And they shifted the venue last minute to Kisumu. Talk of Nat. Talk of Nat. The war in Nat has always been blamed on the deputy president. Why? The DP also is a politician. If the current officials are not supporting him or are anti his candidature, what do you expect him to do? So he must engineer a revolution. He must engineer a rebellion from within. And that's why you see a lot of fights in these trade unions. It's because of the influence the trade unions have in elections and the desire by politicians to control some of these trade unions. And because the Atwoli, Sosion, and the rest feel that the DP is anti them, then they decided, we are not going to call you. I don't know what you think. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you, guys. Tomorrow I have several videos to do. The first video I want to do tomorrow is Mutahi Kagwe. I strongly believe that Mutahi Kagwe is going to be one of the most unpopular cabinet secretaries at the end of this crisis. And I'm going to explain that using a statement which he released yesterday at night. The other video I'm planning to do is Mike Mbovi Sonko. Will he succeed in his fight against President Uhuru Kenyatta? And I also have several others. So tomorrow I'll do for you 3 videos. Today, I was a bit busy running up here and down, but I'm back. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.